while Christ makes your life more enjoyable as well. But let's take a close look at salt to determine why Jesus would use it in a teachable illustration. Point one, salt is used for preservation. How many of you know that when you're going out on your barbecues and you're going out on your picnics and you get a bucket full of ice, what you put on it? You know why you put that salt on that ice? Because it preserves it. It keeps it whole longer than what it should be. So salt preserves things. Some people put salt on food. They would wrap the fish and other meat items in salt because it preserves it. Amen? Amen. So salt is a preserver. Look at somebody and say, I'm a preserver. Amen. I'm a preserver. Now, the first thing to understand is that the world don't got no taste without you. Just as salt preserves food, Jesus emphasized that his followers have a role in preserving goodness. They have a role in preserving moral integrity, because we are living in a world that lacks those things. So it's up to his followers, it's up to those who say that I live for Jesus, to present their lives in such a way where they begin to preserve these qualities. Amen? Amen. These values. When it seems like goodness is lacking, Jesus wants us to remind the world that it is still here. When it seems like there's no more moral standards, Jesus wants his people to remind the world that moral standards are still here. When it seems like there are less righteousness in the world, Jesus wants his people to remind the world that righteousness still exists. Amen. When it seems like no one wants to be holy today, Jesus wants his people to remind the world that holiness still exists. He wants you to be the salt. It seems like no one has moral integrity or an obligation. Jesus wants us to position our lives for others to see. There are those that still believe in doing what's right with no compromise. Amen. Amen. We have a responsibility to preserve goodness and keep it safe from harm or injury. Now, the reason I say that, because when you preserve something, again, is another way you mentioned preserving is keeping it from harm or keeping it from injury. Amen. Amen. Keeping it from harm or keeping it from injury. There are those, I believe the name of it is conservationists. And what conservationists do is they preserve the life of animals. They preserve the life of animals. So they move in such a way where they put things in place so that they protect animals from harm or for injury. Amen? Amen. So another way of looking at preserving is protecting something. Amen. You're protecting goodness. You're protecting righteousness. You're protecting holiness. You're protecting relationships. You're protecting it because you don't want it to be harmed nor injured. Amen. Amen. Now that this only applies to those that were saying be salty. Be salty, my friend, okay? We preserve goodness, moral integrity, righteousness, holiness, because we are preservers.